Well, in fact, it's the largest reporting team of Republic Media Network getting you live updates from what we have been calling it, Sucharita, the watershed moment of India as far as the G20 presidency goes. In fact, we've spent roughly about now a little over 12 hours here from the time this International Media Center was opened up. And interestingly, what we are going to do right now is for our viewers, give a quick tour of the place where we are broadcasting from. Give us a sense when we see a large number of foreign delegates who are coming in, they're getting a first-hand experience of what we call the One Earth, One Family, One Future experience altogether. So Charita, let's just begin with the fact that in the inaugural address of the Prime Minister, where he largely talks about how when the world faces a multipolar crisis, the solution can only come in with dialogue. The solution can only come in with multiple alternatives. We've seen some big headlines this morning with regards to a biofuel alliance being announced, which perhaps will be taken forth. What is it, the sense that you get by speaking to several people here during the, at the International Media Center, when you speak to several of the foreign delegates, what's the sense that you are getting from here?
See, I think, Shravan, it's really beautiful when you walk in here and you see people of different countries, different cultures, and I think that people from different countries are here. They create a diversity within this media gallery. Right. But then we've been always carrying that diversity within India. And what makes it beautiful is for these foreign delegates, these media delegates who are coming in here, they are seeing that entire diversity in India at display at this media gallery. It's beautiful because when we went down to the crafts bazaar, which was there, and different states putting up their crafts, I think that whole diversity being at display for these foreign delegates. And I was also speaking to some of my Bharat colleagues and telling them that it is also our responsibility. We are also hosting this. Right. It's India's presidency. Right. So we as Indian media also need to make the foreign delegates at ease here at the media gallery, because it is a proud moment for all of us. And when the Prime Minister speaks of in his opening address, he speaks of a trust deficit at the global level, which is a very crucial problem the world is facing. So that trust deficit also needs to be controlled also through get-togethers like this, and we at a media level also trying to do that. So I think that trust deficit that he speaks about is a major problem probing the countries of the world today. And when he speaks of it, he gives that motto which the Prime Minister reiterates time and again in India, which is this government's motto, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So that when he speaks about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, it is at a global level. He says when India is doing the presidency, it is about inclusiveness. It is about the countries coming together.
Well, in fact, what do you make of that plaque of Bharat being written there? Because I think so. That is the first thing I noticed. The first thing that we all noticed as news hounds. That
we knew
the moment
that
you said,
yeah,
I'm assuming, and also the fact that you make a mention of that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas is also what the opposition parties may have been talking about. Is the G20 also keeping in mind the 2024 elections? But the Prime Minister largely talking about the fact that today it's not about domestic issues. Yes. We are a one world, and any issue that happens abroad has its own ramifications in India. And if you really look at in terms of solutions that have also come in, what I find it very interesting, at a time when we're talking about food security crisis, India is now talking about old grains that our ancestors have actually seen, something that has revived. We are talking about millets at this point in time. So I think that there is always that knack that Indians have. Throw up a challenge and you will have a solution in return.
And the Western world is taking to millets like anything, because they also feel that these
Sorry to interrupt you, because I had one of the foreign journalists actually asking you guys talking about millet, where is the millet here? Because the refreshment counters here, as far as the media is concerned, did not have millet. Sorry to interrupt you, but continue.
That's perfectly fine. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The Western world is taking to millets because they know it's healthy, and our ancestral food has been millets. So when India comes to again promoting millets, I think the world is taking it very well, and they're already, as you said, some of the the foreign delegates were asking for it. So it is beautifully being put up, and India is trying to showcase. Like yesterday, I told you that we went to some of the artisans who said that they had dying arts and they are being revived through this G20. This is exactly what the vision is, trying to put into foray, bring into foray arts that are dying, food grains that we were consuming generations earlier, and now they're again coming back to this world this time. So this is being done through this G20 also. And and when you mentioned Bharat, now coming back to that, mentioning Bharat, I know it's going to raise some eyeballs here in India, because that whole debate has been quite live and active in the past few days. But I think when the people from outside different countries come to India, this is the vision of ancient Bharat, ancient India. So when we speak Bharat, we speak of the India that was once the ruling civilization, and that is exactly what we are trying to put right in the center of this G20, when we are trying to showcase what India has been all about.
Well, in fact, finding solutions from our civilization, and perhaps Bharat in itself reflects a continuum of our civilization. I don't see why anyone should essentially have a problem, but that's another aspect that we'll touch upon in a short while from now. In fact, we'll keep